And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Reeves and Starmer have been handed the worst news of their entire tenure. And this is not exaggeration, ladies and gentlemen. Labour's entire economic pitch has just collapsed. They can't spin their way out of this. Starmer and Reeves built their brand on one slogan and one slogan only. We will restore growth. However, the OBR has now, the UK's most trusted fiscal body, says growth will be downgraded every single year. This destroys Labour's core narrative completely. Guys, we've got a lot to discuss in this one, but as always, please do hit the like button and hit the subscribe button for more, and let's get into this bombshell news. So yes, this was the news that came out earlier on today. Let's have a little watch of this video and we'll break it down.
We've got some breaking news. Sky News can reveal that growth is going to be downgraded every year for the rest of the Parliament. The OBR, of course, on Wednesday will also, as well as the budget, give us their latest economic forecasts. And they're going to suggest that UK economic growth will be lower than last forecast in March every year until 2029.
And obviously with a government that has absolutely pitched itself as being all about growth, being pro-growth, this is difficult news, and growth forecasts, of course, have a massive knock-on effect on everything from taxes to how much money the government's got to spend. It's all according to our Deputy Political Editor, Sam Coates, on his podcast, Politics at Sam and Anne's.
We're going to be joined by Sam later on in the programme, so we'll get his full breakdown on that. And of course, it's funny, it comes... of course, as we just asked Jeremy Hunt about the OBR and the process, and saying, you know, the difference is it is at least independent, so the government can't kind of shy away from it. This
is the Office of Budget Responsibility. We should say it was kind of set up under the kind of Cameron years, wasn't it? But then it basically gives these kind of economic forecasts that some people think are, as we were just saying, a very, very important way of checking what the government's up to. Others would say it's a straitjacket and they get everything wrong anyway.
We will discuss more with Sam Coates next hour on that big scoop from him.
This is huge news, ladies and gentlemen. As we're seeing here, a senior cabinet minister has admitted the UK is locked in a growth emergency, as has been revealed that the leading economic watchdog is set to downgrade the country's prospects. Just 2 days before Rachel Reeves stands up and deliver her second budget, the Chancellor has been hit by revelations that the Office for Budget Responsibility will reduce its estimates for economic growth in the UK for every year until 2029. And as you can see, this news could not come at a worse time for the Chancellor, whose own job is to believe to be on the line in a make-or-break budget, just 18 months after she arrived in the Treasury with a #1 mission of delivering economic growth. So as stated at the start there, guys, they can't spin their way out of this. They have built their brand on one slogan: we will restore growth. This proves that Labour's recovery isn't happening. You can't claim to have stabilised the economy when the official forecast shows slower growth, lower productivity, weaker investment, a shrinking future tax base. This is a direct indictment of Labour's first year in power. It reduces the money Rachel Reeves has to work with. A growth downgrade means less tax revenue, less fiscal headroom, less room for tax cuts, less money for public services, more pressure on borrowing. Reeves, remember, promised iron discipline, but this forces her into austerity by stealth or borrowing she vowed she'd avoid. Either way here, she's trapped. It makes Labour's spending promises look completely reckless. If the economy is weakening, questions explode around scrapping the two-child benefit, which we're hearing rumours today that is going to be happening, expanding welfare, which you've heard that's going to be happening today, public sector pay rises, climate spending, and the Green Prosperity Plan. Every promise now looks unaffordable. But either way, they are still going to be scrapping the two-child benefit cap over the next 2 days. At least that's what's being said at this moment in time, and that's coming from the left-leaning. And there's an internal fighting happening within inside the Labour Party, and the Liberal side of it, of course, want to see them scrap the two-child benefit cap, which again, we know why. You don't have to add 2 and 2 together, look who their voter base is, and you can get a real understanding as to why they're pushing down that way. Now, as stated, growth downgrades can completely weaken investor confidence. Now, this is what Starmer's been saying. We've got so much investment within the country. It can also raise borrowing costs, spook businesses, and freeze investment. Also, anything that signals a weaker UK economy hurts Labour's image internationally, which has already been hurt, and we're seeing the pressure with Rachel Reeves at this moment in time. And Rachel Reeves has spent the last year and a half trying to win over businesses, and this undermines her instantly. Labour can no longer blame the Tories here. This is the key point. As we say all of the time with regard to Keir Starmer and Rachel Reeves, it's always blaming the previous government. Labour's favourite line, the Conservatives crash the economy, it dies completely here. The moment your own EOBR says the future looks worse under you, voters stop buying excuses. This now becomes Labour inherited a mess and then made it worse. There can no longer be this narrative with regard to the Conservatives anymore after the OBR have predicted, they've downgraded growth until the end of Parliament in 2029. And as I said, this is devastating headline for Labour voters. People understand the word downgrade. It translates to your wages won't grow much, your living standards won't improve, your bills will stay high, and your job prospects won't get much better. Remember, Labour promised hope and growth. The OBR just told the public, don't expect any of them. The optics are catastrophic. In politics, optics and everything, and this is the worst possible framing. Labour in power and Britain is getting poorer. Cast your minds back to all of them talking about growth, and that's where you'll see the whole argument die here today with regard to the OBR forecast. It's a bombshell news, and this is where it all dies today with the Labour Party. It's very, very interesting indeed. Now, other than that, guys, Rachel Reeves also risks budget revolt over benefit cuts despite buckling rebels with £3 billion giveaway. Rachel Reeves has been issued with a budget revolt warning after the Chancellor vowed to make another attempt to reform welfare on November 26. Ms Reeves was expected to slap higher taxes on millions of Britons to fill a £50 billion black hole, risks facing a repeat of Keir Starmer's common climb down earlier this year. Despite putting forward measures to slash Britain's ballooning benefit bill by £5 billion, the Prime Minister was forced to make last-minute concessions to Labour rebels to prevent a humiliating defeat at the hands of his own MPs. The Chancellor is already looking to charm left-wing Labour MPs by abolishing the two-child benefit cap to the tune of £3 billion, which you just spoke about a moment ago. Reeves had wanted to introduce a taper system, which would have been seen eligible families receive reduced payments for the third and subsequent children. However, the Chancellor faced relentless pressure from backbench Labour MPs and Education Secretary Bridget Phillipson. Ms Reeves also remains committed to introducing wider reforms to the welfare. She claimed that the changes would change the welfare system from one designed to punish, trapping millions of people on benefits rather than helping them into work, into a system designed to help people succeed. She has to hint that something on cutting the bill is coming, a Labour source added. There are many more other audiences out there. It's not just the Parliamentary Labour Party. They have to say the PLP will give you this, but you have to back us on other things. So there's more with regard to that. And of course, this is what Kemi Badenoch said with regard to this also, as she's chimed in. Of course, the Conservatives using this, and it's becoming a bit putty in their hands at this moment in time. As you can see, Rachel Reeves is hiking taxes on hard-working people to fund a vast welfare giveaway. Britain isn't working because Labour thinks living within your means is optional. Only the Conservatives have a plan and a backbone to put that right. If Rachel Reeves freezes income tax thresholds, she will, by her own words in the budget last year, breach the Labour manifesto. She should have the balls to admit to that to the taxpayers. Anything less will confirm that she's a coward who can't take responsibility for her actions. And Kemi's also bringing out more from them. And that said, on Wednesday, Starmer and Reeves are going to increase your taxes to fund more welfare. And they wonder why Britain's economy isn't working, and now wonder why the OBR are now forecasting no growth within the United Kingdom until 2029. downgraded growth. You don't know how big of a revelation that is from the OBR. Guys, do let me know your thoughts on this news down there in the comment section below, and don't forget to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button for more.